Today I want to show you how to deploy your project using a VPS and Coolify. In my case, it's a Next.js project, but you can adapt it to your project. I will also show you how to create a Postgres database as well for free and a storage as well for free hosted on your VPS. It's the cheapest way that I found to deploy your project, as I just pay $7 per month and I save $20 from Supabase and another $20 from Vercel, which is very affordable in case you need to launch your first real project or your SaaS. So let's get started. So first things, obviously you need to have a domain. I got mine in Namecheap and also a VPS. I got my one in Hostinger, but this is not sponsored, so you can use the one that you like. I just check reviews and prices, and those ones, they were the one that they were working for me. But I said you can choose the provider that you wish. And also, in case that you're using Supabase than me, you need to migrate all your tables to upload them to your new Postgres database. So in the free plan, you need to do it like one by one table by one, and you just click here and export it. You can export it in CSV or SQL. So I would choose a CSV because for me then was like easier, because I create a script to upload all my users and table to my new database. So you can do it the way that you like actually, and don't worry about this database. It's just a testing database, so there is like a lot of data, but it's not real. This is Coolify. As they say, it's a self-hosting with superpowers, which is very, very true. It's very easy installation, so you just need to click here on self-hosted. And this is giving you a command that you need to install, or you need to paste on your VPS to install all the package that Coolify needs as Dockers and other stuff. So first you need to go on your terminal and go on the root of your server. So this is my case. You will need your password, and you can create a user or just straight away paste this command as I told you. And just this will take a while because I have to install all the package. So I will come back. Okay guys, so we have installed Coolify, and at the end here of the installation you can find the URL to your dashboard, so you just need to go in there. My one is not gonna work. I will explain you later why. So I just will go here straight to my dashboard in Coolify. So I just want to create this video because I saw few videos that they were like explaining how to create your first project, but I wanted to know that you can create multiple projects here on Coolify. You just don't need like separate accounts, and I couldn't find much information at the beginning. Was a little confused for me. So doesn't matter if it's your first project or second one, you can just go here on projects and you just need to click here on add, you need to give it a name. I will say project X because I'm not sure about the name yet. So I will continue. Then you need to go here, which is the interesting part, add a new resource. And in a while you will see how many kind of resources that Coolify has. So look at this, like you can add your public repository, private one, with the key. Also, you can create your image with Docker, uploaded, as I told you, Postgres database and different database if you don't want Postgres. You have multiple services here. I just don't gonna go through all of this, but as you can see, it's an infinite scroll, which is amazing. Now other videos will show you how to deploy your application straight away from your repository from GitHub. But for me, just never work. I don't know why. So as Coolify also is using Docker, I just decide to use Docker image. I just created on my repo and then I uploaded here. So it's what we're gonna do now. So now we have to go to our project to create the image. I wanted to show you this is a real project. This is a big project, not like a Hello World project that for sure is gonna work everywhere. This is a big project. Actually, I can show you here. So this is my kind of booking app for diving. So I have like multiple things, like have a chat, reservations, calendars. Yeah, it's huge. So this is how a real project works, because sometimes on the tutorials you just see hello worlds and never have any issue, and I have like quite few issues when I was deploying my project. So I want to show you all of this. Okay, so let's back on Visual Studio Code, and first, if you're using Docker, you need to install Docker, and then you can run here Docker init. So Docker init is creating the files that you need for your image, which are Docker file, Docker compose, and Docker ignore. So you can also do it manually, but I found this way like it's much easier. So here detect your server application. In my case node is okay. Yeah, this fine. I use npm, okay. I don't want to do a run build at the moment. I already done it and I know it's working. Yeah, this one is fine. And the port that is listening, the one is listening in your case. And here we go, we have our Docker file. We also have the Docker compose and the Docker ignore here. About the Docker file, the one that is coming by default, this is the one that I just changed, because the one that is coming by default, I don't know how big is your project, I don't know which kind of dependencies you have, but was giving me multiple errors. So I just use ChatGPT or other AI, and I asked for all the errors that was giving me when I was building my image, and I just add dependencies and other things that I need or I have to run, and at the end, like after 5 times, was working. So yeah, also like if you want to check on Stack Overflow, like you can fix it easily, but just this is the one that I use now for my project, because I more or less use all these same dependencies. So now you need to go to your GitHub, you need to go to settings, developer settings, and personal access token classic, and you need to generate a new token classic. Okay, so I will give a name for that. Okay, and in here, very important, you need to give these permissions, write and repo, and I will also add those ones because on the other project was giving me some error as well, so I just add all of them and I generate a token. Okay, so here you will have this token. Just make sure you copy, as I say, because after that you won't see that again. And then on the other side, so I will copy this and I will save it for later. And then on the other side, you need to go here to your repositories, the one that of your project, and you need to go here to actions. So you need to go here to settings, and in here in settings you need to go here to action, general, and you give as well some read and write permissions here, because otherwise when you create the image won't work, and you need to save it. Okay. Now you have to come back to your project, and we're gonna use the token that we have created. So in here we have this command. I just copy paste and I paste here my token, the one I generate on GitHub, and then I will try to log in Docker and with my user and password. And yeah, in here it will ask you for your password in here, because not me won't ask for my password again, but you need to see login success, and then you will start building your image. So to build your image, this is the command. So docker build, and in here is this one here is the name that I give to my image. If you give a different name, it's okay, because then you can tag with the proper name later. So this is just for all the image. Then this one is your username on GitHub, and the next part is the name of your project, and this is the latest image. There are different kind of ones, but this is the one that is working better for me. So this is how you build the image. It will take as well a while, especially because it's a big project. So finally the image is created here with no errors. If you're using Docker Desktop, I will show you. You can see your image that has been already created. You don't need to if you don't want, but in here, I found it at the beginning easier to know what I was doing. And now what we're going to I was telling you before, in case you name the image with a different name, that now the one that you want to upload to your project is kind of a name like this one. You can use a command like this one. So this basically is like tagging your image. So in case, for example, you name it before project X, and now you want to give like the proper name, so you give the name that you want at the end, and that was the previous name, and then you easily can tag it before push it to GitHub. But because we name it well already, we don't need this. So the last thing that I have to do is push my image. This will take time, especially for the first time, but here we see like we already have the image, push it to GitHub, and now we have to check if everything was well in GitHub. So you need to go to your package, and here we go. We found the image here that we just pushed it. So we got the image. So now we can come back to our dashboard here in Coolify and save our image. So this will create this image here. In here you can name it, like for example in my case, which is nicer, and you have here a domain for where you can see your image when you deploy it, and then you can change it to your domains. And yes, you here we have your image, the last step that we say that was the tag. You here have the port that is supposed that you need to add a firewall. We will go through this later, and you just not need to click here on deploy. And actually here in Coolify is quite fast to deploy a project. Maybe not the first time, but all the pre-deploys, they are like super easy and super fast to do it. Like it's taking like seconds, even like the project is big. It's what I say, as I told you, it's like not even 1 minute and we have deployed our project. So now, if you want, you can take this domain. Ooh. And you can check it out if this is working. Okay, so we have our image here in our Next.js project. So this is working. And in here, as I say, I could change my domain to be underwater, but as I already like have deployed previously, like I just not gonna change it. I just doing this for the tutorial. But here is where you write down like in here. Will be something like that. You can also write down the one without the 3 W's. Sorry, I can do 2 things at the same time. And then you just save it. Yeah, I use it for another project, so I can change it, but yeah, it looks like this. And now in here you can set your environment variables here. You can add them easily, and also you can have your Cronjobs same way that you used to have in Vercel or wherever you were using. I just found as well, like there was no a lot of info about the the schedule tag. So I want to share with you. For this, you can give the name that you want, like a Cronjob. I will don't leave a space just in case. Cronjob project X, and then the command. I tried different commands and different things, but the one like work for me was using this command, and then the frequency that you want for the for your cron job. I would say like twice per day, and then you can save it here. This you will have it, you can execute it, or otherwise will be executed twice a day. And then on your project, what I did is just I have this root like on API cron root, where I have this function and I execute all my cron jobs that I have it in a util file in here, and then I create all the functions, export them, and this is how I work with the cron job. If you have like any question, something, you can ask me, and I can create another video about that, because it was very tricky and I couldn't find, as I say, a lot of info about it. So that's why I wanted to share with you. Then we go on the next step, which is creating our database. So you can go to back from your project to production. Then you need to click here, new resources. Let's wait a bit. In here, you can find PostgreSQL database. I will go for the default one, but you can choose whatever you like. And in here we are creating a database. Okay, so you have here your name. I will say project X, and here also your new username. For this tutorial I won't change it, and you have here a password as well that you will need later. You can also make this one public if you want, or you can like keep privately. So for the tutorial I will make this one public. I have to start it first, sorry. So let's start the database. Okay, perfect. As I say, like things here, they are very fast, very easy, and take like this. So amazing, Coolify. So we have started, and as I say, I want to make this one, make it public for you to see. So we have this port, which is like the default one that usually used for the database, but you can use different one. Like if you have like different project, you also can have like you can use like different port for this, which is what I do. Oh yeah, I'm using this port for my other project, so let's try this one. Okay, now it's successful. And yeah, we also so in here you can import your backups if you want. You also have for here for environment variables, webhook if you need. I don't use that one, but for the import your database is why I say like I'd rather use here. I create few scripts and I just execute with my CSV file from Supabase, and I found that it was nicer. Also, you need to change on your M file your new URL from here, that one from your Coolify database. And here also very cool and very important, you can create backup for your database. So first you need to also set the frequency that you want, and you need to first create here S3 storage. In here you see my ones. So what I did is just I used the AWS free like a trial that for 1 year, and then I'm not gonna go through this, but for sure you can. That was very easy actually to do it, and you can ask me or you can check some tutorials, but it was very easy to do it. And then you connect this one to your project database. Here we see, yeah, well, you see, here we already have our image, our database. So yeah, as I said, you connected, and here we go, we have all the regarding to our database covered here. Now, very important, I don't know if you remember from the beginning of the video when I installed Coolify and the URL was not working. So that is because I add already, like you should do it like after all of this, but because I just use it already for different projects, I have already this already set. So on your VPS, you need to go to your security firewall, and you need to add some firewall to your project. So the port 2280 and 443 are the ones requested by Coolify, and this is just covering like nobody is like checking this port. So you need to add them here, and also your database and all the different ports that you use, and here on your firewall. Then also in here you will need to go to your dashboard in Coolify. Well, sorry, not dashboard. You need to go to your setting now, and then you can change your domain. So this one, because it was my first project, and I have this domain, and I write down this one, that you can use your domain and write down Coolify at first, and this will be accessible after that. Maybe at the beginning, like you have like some trouble or some issues, because they say like the URL is no safe, but they will resolve in like 5 minutes. The same like for your domain. Okay. Yeah, that's it, and then you have configured and personalized for your next projects. And the last thing that I want to show you, as I say, is this storage, free storage. I used to use as well Supabase, but I don't know if it was giving you like a 1 or 2 gigabytes for free. But in here in your VPS, if you have a space, you can set this storage completely free. This is called Minio. Minio is a open source storage that I will show you. I will add it here, and yeah, I will deploy it. Okay, it's started and running. In here you will find your user, and you can find the password, and you have your console here, and this is like the public Minio root. Okay, also in here you can change the name. I would say project X as well, and then you need to go here so here you will go on this page from Minio, looks like this, and obviously what you need to do is like okay, like get here your username, and your password, and if as you can see here in bucket, you can create the bucket that you want. I just have one for my courses and one for the dive centers, and then you can just add you can create a new bucket. Actually here you can set as well the limit if you want to set some limit. I set some limit just in case, and then you can easily change it, and then you can like I don't know, I would say test maximum 1 gigabyte, and yeah, create the bucket. So here you have this bucket, and then you can go here, you set you can change as I say, the permissions, and then you can go here on object browser, and then you see your bucket, you see the size. You can also go inside the bucket, and you can upload things, so you see what you have, and you can see your images here. You just need to connect this to your project, and you will have this storage completely for free. So last thing that you have to do is go on your domain provider, go to advanced DNS, and add 2 records. A record that includes the value of your server, and also a CNAME record that includes your domain. This maybe take a few hours, so don't worry, it is not working automatically, but after a few hours you will have all set. So that's all for today. If you have any question, just ask ChatGPT. No, I'm joking. You can drop a comment below, and as I say, I will reply as I couldn't find a lot of info. Also, if you are curious why I moved my app from Supabase and Vercel, you can check it out my other video where I did the whole process from Kuala Lumpur. See you soon.